record it, but I'm not going to show your face.
Okay.
I heard, whenever I was growing up as a young lad, of this evil demonic person from overseas that had remarkable powers to the point that he could point a finger at a blackbird and say die, and it would fall out of the sky. He actually took wood and debris and put it in the center of a field and dug a trench around it, filled the trench full of water, poured water all over the wood, and then stepped back and caused fire to come down out of heaven and consumed all the wood. He even went down into a village and got a dead corpse and done a little ceremony, and the corpse stood up screaming and hollering, I'm in hell, please help me, I'm in hell. And the man would wave his hand and he would fall back dead again. 7 missionaries, priests, watched this demonstration whenever this guy was just a young kid, just a young lad. I was memorized by it because I know that it had something to do with the Bible, and something to do with the Antichrist, and something to do with the end time events. In 1983, I had an automobile accident that literally should have cut me completely, totally in half. And I knew beyond that point that God had a special favor for me to do something for him. In 1988, I met that individual after he became a grown man. I was about 27, 28 years old.
What individual? The one that you were in an accident with?
No, the individual that I heard about that had these remarkable powers. I met him right here in this store, right here in this restaurant. And behind those doors right there used to be another part of the restaurant that went back to the back section where the bathrooms was, back there. And there was basically 3 pictures on the wall of the dome of the buildings like it's over in Jerusalem. And there was 13 Arabic individuals that was sitting back there at the time that was observing me while I was eating a steak, basically right over there next to that wall. This was in 1988. I wanted to freshen up before I come over here and paid, and I went to the restroom and I cleaned up a little bit, and on the way back, one of the individuals that was sitting on a 3-table setting stopped me and said, hey, why don't you pick that dollar bill up off the floor? I knew the man was messing with me. They was all wearing lots of gold, lots of jewelry. They was all dressed in silk. You could tell that they was made out of nothing but money. And I go, sir, why don't you pick the dollar bill up off the floor? And I proceeded to walk back through those same swinging doors where your kitchen is now. And the man boldly spoke up and screamed out loud and said, well, why don't you suck my so-and-so and so-and-so then? And I stopped. And I thought to myself, I don't have to take this. I am an American. And I remember turning and facing these 13 men that had 3 tables placed together. And I wish I had a knife or something. But anyways, they had the one in the center that was the leader had a large pocket knife. Not a pocket knife, but like a hunting knife that was all solid chrome. And he had it stuck on one of his index fingers, and the other index finger had, on the handle, had his other index finger holding it up there. And while he was looking at me, the knife was spinning around and around, and every time the light would hit it, just right, it would flash. It would flash. After I observed this very closely, I knew that I was in the presence of evil. Pure, mere, 110% evil. I paid for my meal and I left. Okay? About a week later, there used to be a nightclub down there called Cheers. These same individuals bumped into me again, but this time there was some pushing and shoving that went on. The bouncers got involved, and he wound up, putting his calling card in my pocket. At that time, I was wearing a shirt with a pocket on it, and the following next day, I found a black piece of cloth that was in the diameter of about 2 inches by 2 inches that was solid silk. Around the edge of the cloth was a golden type apron. Inside the black silk cloth was a golden circle, and inside the golden circle was a 5-pointed moose head demonic star representing Satan. This individual that I'm talking about that not only ate here in 1988, probably, I can't say for sure, took on a big what do you call it whenever you give money to somebody? Not dedication. Probably helped this.
Will or something.
Probably helped this college up here to some degree, because the very people that I'm talking about is the Saudi Arabians that has made over $775 billion worth of investment in this country alone, and that includes hospitals, colleges, and etc. These are the people that masterminded 9/11. These are the people that I met. The information that I'm telling you about heads of state, kings, queens, presidencies, and etc. is very aware of the story that I just got through telling you about the meeting that took place in 1988 right here
In the back of this restaurant.
in the back of this restaurant.
That blows my mind.
Now you know about it. I'm basically an Eric Snowden. I'm a whistleblower. Whenever I blowed the whistle about the Oklahoma incident that happened in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, since then I've been on a international watch list. In other words, the government deems me as me being a potential problem because I have spooked them.
Right.
But my harm has never been intentional harm.
Right.
As a matter of fact, there's never been no harm at all. Only thing I want to do is get to the bottom of it and deliver my message to the general public pertaining to biblical Bible prophecy being fulfilled, because I believe that I'm one of the 2 witnesses that it talks about in the book of Revelations regarding the doomsday devil's duel, that where 2 individuals will come together once more again over in Jerusalem. He's done come to me and challenged me. Now it's my turn to go to him pertaining to the doomsday devil's duel that it talks about in Revelations, where the 2 witnesses will lay in the streets of Jerusalem for 3.5 days. I will walk up to this individual and tell him that the time has come for him to surrender and for him to put his material as well as his immaterial weapons down. Odds are he's not going to surrender to me. We're talking about
Highly doubt it.
we're talking about the very same people that just recently just got through cutting up a reporter in little bitty pieces and carrying him outside the embassy. My pleasure talking to you.
You too.
Take care of yourself.
You too.
I'll see you.
Be safe. Come back and see me, okay?
See you now.
All right.